Oh, hi guys. How's it going? I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction on some of the gear we're going to use, some of the components, the accessories, the cable we're going to use when we get back to college on our PVC conduit installations. PVC conduit, you can't see this, but it's a 3 metre length. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it down to size. These pipe cutters here, open them up, as you close it, that blade comes along, cuts things at a circle. A few different types of these. You've got some like ratchet ones, which cut through lots of things. You've got to be very careful, but realistically, these are only for cutting the PVC conduit. Now if you have a look, conduit, hole all the way through, that's where our cables are going to go. Conduit and trunking, all these things, we call them containment. So this is conduit, circular, trunking, square. What it does, contains the cables, provides a bit of mechanical protection for our cables. This is white, you can get black, different colours. This is 20 mil diameter from one side to the other side. PVC, polyvinyl chloride, that's what it stands for. It's plastic, so it's got a little bit of flex. Doesn't conduct electricity, it's an insulator. So before, it provides mechanical protection for the cables inside as well. So normally we've been using our twin and earth clip direct. The sheath on the twin and earth provides a little bit of mechanical protection, not a great deal, certainly not to the extent of what the PVC conduit will. What that means is that we can install cables in here that don't require like an outer sheath. We can just put the individual conductors through, whether it's like the browns, the blues, the green, yellows, lives, neutrals, earths. But there we go. Moving on to the types of cable. Just chop a little bit of this off. And my snippy dippies. I don't know if you can see this, but it's this is 1.5mm squared singles, green, yellow, so it's earth. I've just cut it off a coil, very similar to this. There's 100 meters of brown, 1.5. Tag here, this sticker, got the information on there of the cross-sectional area. Probably lots of other things, well, it's actually got the colour on it as well, but you can't tell the colour. But if you're going to be a spark, then you should really know colours. And we've got the blue. This is exactly how they're going to be in the workshop, boys. Unwrap this. Just like cling film. Or for our American counterparts, it's called saran wrap. But we don't care for them. Back there in a bit. There's our neutral, or blue. Use it as we want, as long as we identify the conductors. This is 1.5. 1.5 is for lighting circuits, don't forget. When we start looking at using singles in our jobs, whether it's PVC conduit, whether it's steel trunking, steel conduit, when you start looking at lighting circuits and power circuits, it takes on a little bit of a different edge than using twin and earth, because we generally always install the conductors that are all the same size. So within twin and earth, the earth is always smaller. But when we do conduit, when we're doing singles, because that's what these are called singles, the earth's always the same size. Okay, so when you go on further towards doing like your level 3 stuff, when you start looking at doing equations, predominantly more for like R1, R2s and the ring final calculations, there's another little factor that you're going to take into account, so that's just something to bear in mind. But hey ho, it's nothing to really bother us about at the minute. Now, if we strip a bit of this off, strip a bit of the outer sheet, what you'll find with single cable, single because it's on its own, it's actually stranded. Okay, so twin and earth was like one solid piece of copper, one solid piece going through, whereas single cables, it's actually made up of, I think it's 7 individual pieces of copper. Now that's probably harking back to the older days where it was all like imperial sort of stuff, where lighting circuits, I can't remember what it was, but I think in lighting circuits there was 3 strands, and also when we look at like the power, like 2.5, I think there was 5 or 7. Just more like individual strands to take more of the current. But because it's stranded, when we screw this down into the terminals, the strands like split out a little bit, so you can get a better connection, and you're less likely to screw through and break the copper as well. We can also double it over before we terminate it as well, to make sure that we are making a really good connection. But there we go, that's just the cable. It's going to go in. It's only a straight piece, very easy. But if we're going to bend this, we are going to bend this on your jobs. Might need to use a draw wire. It tends to be for like much longer runs as well, because it's copper. As soon as it hits like a corner or a little bit of resistance, it's very soft, hits a bit of resistance, it just starts folding up on itself. Okay, so these sort of techniques, you'll learn them when you get back in the workshop. What should we go for now? That one side. Our accessories, when we're looking at our little things that go along with the conduit, we've got these adapters. Now these adapters go into the boxes that we've got. This is a surface box, complete with a conduit knockout. Can you see the circle there? 20mm also on there. I'm just going to drill it out. Yep, there. Should clean the also out there, but I'm being a bit lazy. I haven't. I've got these adapters. Now these adapters correspond to the size of here, same as the conduit. That's a 20mm hole. That's a 20mm hole saw. Everything corresponds. Now this is a female adapter, female bush. That's a male. The main part of the adapter, the lock nut, goes into the main part of the adapter. So that's a female. You've got the male. The main part of the adapter, these are all plastic, so they're a bit, got a plastic thread on it. Sometimes not the best, very easy to wear out that. It's only plastic. The main part of the adapter goes into the lock nut. Okay? That's how we identify the difference. And look at that, it's dead easy to cross thread because it's absolute rubbish. But trying to go backwards, if you want to try and find the thread on anything, you're struggling to get it on. If you go the opposite way, you should find the thread. But these have also been manufactured terribly. Come on! There we go, back on. The main part of the adapter went into the lock nut. Female, the lock nut goes into the adapter. There we go. Now if I unscrew this, there's our back box, which you will be familiar with. Get them in there, screw them on. And then wherever our conduit is, he goes in there. Now there is a point inside, like internally over this adapter here, there's like a little ridge around the like the inside perimeter where you push the conduit down, it'll stop. It won't go any further. It can't get any further ahead. So when we look at what the female and the male, what you'll find is that the female, it stops a little bit higher up, and the male goes a little bit further down. But the male, you get a little bit more